Yennefer and the Witchers managed to do it. The ugliest man alive revealed himself to be not man, but elf, and an elven sage at that. Avalach, for this was his name, was the elven mage who had helped Ciri flee the hunt, then hidden her away on the Isle of Mists.
I think those plums are wreaking havoc on my gut.
The curse that held Uma proved hard to lift, but Yennefer and the Witchers managed to do it. The ugliest man alive revealed himself to be not man, but elf, and an elven sage at that. Avalach, for this was his name, was the elven mage who had helped Ciri flee the hunt, then hidden her away on the Isle of Mists.
Regis. Couldn't have picked some other place to meet.
What now, you piece of filth? Regis!
Damn it. Locked. No way I got the place wrong. This is it. Gotta be another way in around here. legs. Need to incinerate these to ash. That's some stench. Ugly bastard. Decaying bones. Kikimores must have tunneled into the grave. Nahal in his eye. Ought to use it.
Agreed to meet a vampire at a cemetery. How much more cliché can you get?
Nothing comes readily to mind.
Could have left the door unlatched.
What of my privacy? I value it rather deeply. Unmolested, especially by unwanted guests, that's my preferred state. Besides, I knew you'd find a way to get in.
True enough. Need to find your friend. I'm hoping you'll agree to help.
I shall do whatever's in my power. Yet what you want or even need must matter little. What matters is what Dettlaff wants. If he does not wish to be found, you will not find him. Ever. End of story.
Come on. Gotta be some way.
Vampires can evade detection by the senses, and no divination magic works on us. Even the most precise megascope would be useless.
And this? Could this help?
Wherever did you get that?
Off one of the beast's victims, found by a bend in the river. Body was chopped in pieces. 3 of those pieces were hands. Hand with the ring seemed the odd one out, but Bruxa had taken an interest in it.
It's Dettlaff's hand, without a doubt. It will do splendidly.
The hand. What do you plan to do with it?
You've heard of Kovinaris' theory of tissue memory retention.
Rings a distant bell. Read about it in Alchemia Oblitera. There's a copy at Kaer Morhen, tattered, nearly disintegrated. But if memory serves, Kovinaris never managed to prove it worked.
He did prove it, just never managed to publish his findings. He and I corresponded, you see, after we became friends. Thus, I know he completed his research and performed the first tests. It's complicated, so without delving into details, it is possible to use any piece of tissue to reconstruct what a whole body experienced.
How's it work? We need any special equipment?
We must brew a decoction which Covinarius gave a rather poetic name, resonance. Once imbibed, it sends one into a trance similar to that induced by narcotics. This triggers visions of events linked to strong emotions experienced by the tissue's owner. Picture it as dreaming a fragment of someone's life.
Any chance we might see what Dettlaff was doing just before he lost his hand?
Indeed. Though I also hope resonance will reveal the location of Dettlaff's hideout.
Ring's pretty intriguing. Made of no metal I've ever seen. And the ornamentation.
It comes from our home, where we lived before the conjunction of spheres. It's actually mine. I received it from a dear old friend. You might call him a humanist. He saw us vampires as guests here, guests who owe their hosts, meaning you humans and the elder races, respect.
Respect? Meaning not to treat us like cattle to be slaughtered for food?
Precisely. And the reason why I in turn gave it to Dettlaff. To remind him of the ideals my old friend championed.
Can't you just summon Dettlaff? You're both hired vampires, there's gotta be a way.
If I'm to be entirely candid, there is indeed one. But believe me, we will be better off never availing ourselves of it. It is a last resort. Absolutely.
Last resort? The hell? Why?
There is a being who can summon Dettlaff. Possesses the authority, even the power, to force him to appear in a given place. But the very act of contacting this being, well, it's akin to walking a slack line extended over a chasm filled with molten lava. An exercise as perilous to me as it would be to you. A risk I'm unwilling to take. I beg you, let's do it my way. It will be both quicker and easier.
Covinarius spent half his life proving his theory. guess. Making a dose of resonance won't be easy.
You guessed correctly. In addition to Detlef's tissue, we shall need a powerful occipital lobe stimulant. Effectively a poison, to make one susceptible to visions.
Well, got a few ingredients to choose from. Unfortunately, all are pretty rare. There's Mamoon glands, but closest ones I know of are in Vizima. A spotted white saliva would also serve, but they were cold to extinction over a century ago. Could go with a kobold's eyes, but the creatures are sentient. Rather not gouge one's eyes out.
Given that we lack the time to sleuth this out ourselves, permit me to summon some help.
What was that?
A raven? Rather a common sight at this latitude. Very intelligent fowl. I asked him to look for the creatures you mentioned. Him and his brethren. Perhaps they'll find one in the area, and I would hazard that a flock of ravens will spy any said creature faster than a solitary witcher would. With all due respect to your skills, my friend. It will take them some time, nonetheless, so perhaps you'd care for a snifter of mandrake.
Rarely say no to a snifter.
Sadly, this is but a weak infusion rather than a proper distillate.
Even better. I remember your mandrake hooch. Made people say things they'd have rather kept to themselves.
Now, what could Geralt of Rivia prefer to keep to himself?
Everyone's got some secret.
I agree wholeheartedly. I also believe it wise at times to share one's secrets, unburden oneself to those one can trust.
This your sophisticated way of asking me if I trust you?
I prefer almost always to ask indirectly. It seems a test of intelligence, one you just...
Maybe you should go...
Anything in particular
Curious what you did after you were reborn.
As I'm sure you can surmise, at first I was thoroughly absorbed with recovering. As it is, I've still not recovered completely. Yet I was so weak the first year that I could not stand nor move on my own. Detlef bore my weakness bravely, showed great patience. If not for him, I wouldn't be here, and I'd have regenerated far slower. Once I could at last stand unassisted, I set off for Bruges, for my one-time home of Dillingen. There I led the peaceful life of a rural healer and surgeon, enjoying my neighbours' respect and, in fact, constituting the exact opposite of the monstrous vampire the populace imagines.
Bruges, you say? Rebirth make you sentimental?
Perhaps a dash. But what of you? Where have you been? Ever find your Cyrilla?
Back then, yeah. But we parted again soon after. And when the time was ripe, she came back. Defeated the Wild Hunt together.
Ooh. Seems I certainly missed quite a bit while I was absent.
True enough. But it's a conversation we'll have another time. Need to know more about you now. Gotta ask you the big question. One everyone wonders about. What happens after death?
You wish me to tell you if the human belief in the gods is well-founded? Well, that I do not know. We vampires differ exceedingly from you humans. Our matter, that of which we are composed, can exist without form. We require neither a heart, nor a brain, nor air to breathe.
But were you dead?
As humans understand death, yes.
Feel anything? Understand anything?
It's rather hard to explain. I felt something very unsettling. Something I cannot even name, for I did no reasoning. Only after rebirth did I begin to understand that what I had felt was cold and unimaginable fear. If not for Detlef, I might have drowned in an eternity of icy terror.
Can't have been alive then. Sheesh, experience like that must be vicious.
Indeed, it's hard to compare to anything I know. Yet you are aware we don't see death as you do. The way you cling to life, we find it entirely peculiar. You are mortals, ergo it's a foregone conclusion. You will die. It's but a question of time. Thus, I often find myself wondering why you try so very hard. To die at 20 years, 40, even 100, what's the difference? They're all but the blink of an eye.
Depends on your point of view. Man who's got 1,000,000 crowns to spend can't possibly understand one who's only got 20.
Very true. One's outlook can indeed change much.
Got a new life, a new body. That give you a new start, blank slate?
Starting all anew is a very broad concept. What exactly do you mean?
Your blood addiction, say. Wondering if your body's the same, if it still remembers. Maybe if you drank now, you wouldn't get hooked.
All addictions are a form of slavery. Re-addiction's not a risk I'm willing to take, just to test a hypothesis about corporeal regeneration and whether propensities carry over.
Fair enough. Curiosity, that's all. Sorry.
Not to worry, Geralt. Curiosity is a natural reaction under the circumstances, apart from which I've always valued that trait in you.
Always fascinated me the way vampires can regenerate. A hand growing back is one thing, but Detlef recreating you out of a wet smear? Something else entirely.
A difficult and laborious process, but one that's possible, as my presence proves. But I've heard you too had quite the adventure. They say you lost your memory.
For a bit, but Triss helped me get it back. Actually pretty damn lucky I only had amnesia.
Yes, you humans are rather buggered in those terms. To strip you of life is, well, it's just plain easy. I've always pitied you in that regard. We vampires are much harder nuts to crack. If a member of another race kills one of us, we can be reborn with a living higher vampire's help. However, if one of our own strikes the deadly blow, death is permanent. There can be no rebirth. One of the chief reasons why vampires long ago swore never to fight one another.
right, give you one question. What do you want to know?
One question to ask one as fascinating as you, Geralt. Cruel parsimony, I'd say, but I shall do my best to make it count. If you were to die and be reborn as I was, in your new life, would you choose to be a Witcher?
See, Regis. Doubt I'd know how to be anything else.
Ever tried?
See, you're determined to get an answer, to find out if I like being a Witcher. Just refuse to ask directly, as always. I like being on the path. I like picking up a lead, a trail. I like the tension right before a fight. And nothing gets my adrenaline flowing like battling a beast. Even gotten used to people treating me like a freak, an outcast. Yeah, not something I think about much, but I like being a Witcher.
Thank you for being honest. Honesty is an attribute of the truly brave, and thus a privilege of the very few.
Still no sign of your winged friend. Sure it understood what you wanted?
Dead certain. Let's wait a bit longer. It'll return soon, don't doubt that for a moment. Ever vigilant, even in his sleep. Quite vampire-like, in fact. Are you absolutely certain they don't administer a few of our genes during the trial of the grasses?
Appreciate the compliment. Got something for me?
You were right. No kobolds or mamoons for miles around.
Knew it.
Allow me to finish. You see, there's this spotted white. It haunts an abandoned residence in the Caraberta woods.
Impossible. My brethren hunted down every last spotted white before I was born.
Then it seems you must revise your knowledge of spotted whites. For somehow this one managed to survive your brethren's onslaught. It seems I know this home it haunts. Recall a tale about it. Locals believe the place cursed. Perhaps that's how the white survived entirely unmolested.
Know anything else about this curse?
I don't recall much in particular. Really don't attach much importance to such things. It was mentioned to me as an anecdote, no more.
Come on, search your memory. Something, anything could be important.
I believe it had a relation to hunger, or, perhaps greed, rapacity. Someone was punished for something...
Textbook definition of a curse, pretty much.
Sorry, Geralt, I try not to clutter my mind with the details of every far-fetched tale I happen to hear. What are your thoughts?
A specimen of a species thought long extinct, and a curse in one place. That a coincidence, or are they related?
Ah, professional curiosity. Personally, I've nothing against you delving into this dilemma, but please remember we need the white's saliva. Nothing beyond that.
Whites rarely appear in the woods, even less likely to find them in abandoned human homes. They inhabit remote wildernesses, old abandoned cemeteries.
What's your point?
This might not be a spotted white after all. Your little helper might have made a mistake.
I sincerely doubt it. Ravens are devilishly intelligent creatures, and they've highly developed observational skills.
What exactly did they observe?
The area around the estate. It's covered in... spoons.
Spoons?
Spare me the skeptical smile. I'm but the bearer of this news. Or perhaps this spotted white is a hoarder. Or the spoons are somehow related to the curse.
Let's do this. Start making your decoction while I go get some saliva from that white. Uses it in its brews.
Do you imagine the white will simply sell you some?
Worst case scenario, I'll bring you its salivary glands. They ought to do as well.
For a moment there I imagined you asking the white to spit into a vial. Quite amusing as a thought, but the salivary glands will do fine indeed.
So, see you later.
Yes, till later. I shall start by perusing some tomes.
Tomes? Thought you were gonna make this decoction.
We require one last ingredient. Alas, obtaining it could prove a trifle toilsome. Thus I hope to identify a suitable alternative.
All right. Good luck.
And to you, my friend.
A witcher. We could use one around here, full time.
Welcome home, sir. I am Barnabas Basil Faulty, by order of the Duchess I shall serve you as Major Domo of Corvo Bianco. I previously served with distinction at the Nibli family manor and in Nazaire with Admiral Rompali, who, as you are certain to know, is an extraordinary, demanding gentleman.
Whoa, Barnabas Basil. One thing you ought to know. I'm not your typical landed gentleman. Truth be told, this is the first real property I've ever owned.
Oh, in that case, you must leave it all to me. I shall organize, see to everything, and whip the house into order. I dare say this place will soon be the most prosperous vineyard around.
Great. Can already see I'm in good hands. Vineyard comes across as a place with a rich history. Know who owned it before me?
Baron Rossel, who went bankrupt, forcing him to sell the estate to the Duchess. The Baron, in turn, had purchased it from Monsieur Bolius of the Headsman, a truly colorful man of Ketweni origin.
He was actually a headsman?
No, not him, but his great-great-great-great-grandfather. Indeed. Apparently, he was a common cut-purse who somehow secured for himself the post of ducal headsman in Beauclair. Went about his work with an exceptional penchant. They say he chopped off more heads than there are grapevines in the ducal vineyards. He never hesitated, not once. Never sliced unevenly, never botched a job. For his exemplary service, the Duke granted him a title and this estate. Monsieur Bolius, on the other hand, was an engineer in his younger years. Once retired, he settled here and took to producing wine. Sadly, misfortune struck and he lost his sense first of smell, then of taste. Additionally, he could not drink alcohol. His medic forbade it.
Shame that. He gave up making wine?
Not at all. He made even more of it. Began throwing wild balls to which he'd invite friends from far and wide in order to treat them to his wine and delight in the fact that at least someone could enjoy it. It's the sort of man he was, Monsieur Bolius.
Mind giving me a little tour de Corvo Bianco?
Not in the least. Follow me, please. I think it would be practical to begin on the hill. Behold, sir, your estate in all its splendor.
Pretty vast.
Indeed. And now, sir, allow me to show you a handful of interesting details. Follow me, please.
Been a major domo all your life?
Yes, I come from a long line of major domos. My father was a major domo, as was my grandfather before him, as was my great-aunt. In fact, she was the one to start the tradition.
Great-aunt?
A hard woman. It is said that already as a child, she knew where she was going, and went there. When she arrived in Beauclair, she signed on as a chambermaid at one of the vineyards, then slowly worked her way up to Major Domo. She dragged the rest of the family up the same path. The servants' quarters. I occupy the green home. With the guards' commission, I have hired a full staff. Their salaries to be paid from the Duke's treasury.
Nice of her.
Not the most sightly part of the estate, I admit. But I think it's worthwhile for you as master of the domain to know where the help stays.
An eagle than a quail. Yes, I should. If I only could, I too.
Follow me, please. Baron Rossel ordered the vines in this part of the estate uprooted and olive groves planted in their place. They look beautiful, especially come spring.
Don't look at all bad now, either.
Down below lies your vineyard, where we grow a strain of Carfanere, one of the world's oldest. Aged in oak barrels, it provides for an exquisite wine with distinct blackberry, wild cherry, plum, and cinnamon notes. Marvelous.
Have to try it one of these days.
Follow me, please. Follow me, please.
Nice well. Picturesque.
Yes, though it ran dry long ago. So Master Bolius held, he would There's a tale about a guest attending a boys' school for the first time in his custom. He had suffered great heartbreak and had decided to end his life by jumping into the well. The festivities were coming to a close, and the well was nearly empty when the suicidal guest finally jumped. Instead of killing himself, he merely broke his legs. To numb the pain, he drank the wine.
Drank himself to death?
Not at all. When found the next day, he had concluded he'd witnessed twin miracles. The water had been changed into wine, and he had survived. He retired to a monastery in the Dragon Mountains and began preaching the wisdoms of Lebioda. Monsieur Bolius' wife Nina kept a garden. A supremely lovely place it was.
Bit neglected now.
I agree. Yet nothing stands in the way of restoring it to its former glory and once again planting it with herbs and other vegetation. Madame Nina planted. Diminutive, delicate flowers and herbs here. One might say their aroma still hangs in the air.
You're quite the romantic, Barnabas Basil.
Now I shall sing you a song. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This served as an additional wine cellar in view of plentiful harvests.
Bit of work and it'll make a fine stable for Roach.
I've a daughter, you know. She's fit to wed. So fit.
I work from dawn to dusk's last light. Then,
The cellars, voila. During Monsieur Bolus's time, wine was kept here, but Baron Rossel used it to store olive oil as well. I took the liberty of cleaning up the mess, which
I made while fighting the Bruxa. Thanks, Barnabas Basil. Appreciate it.
As you can see, the facade is, how to put it, slightly stained. But one cannot deny it, a certain subtle southern charm.
True, though it could use a bit of subtle paint.
And welcome inside. On the left is the master bedroom. On the right, the dining...
Not a bad idea.
At the moment, the house is only minimally furnished. Yet I believe we will. With that, sir, you've seen the full... If forgive me for being...
Think I'll take you up on... Mentioned the place could stand to be...
Almost decide...
Been thinking about...
If I might... Not only...
It's in your hands.
I shall... Highly skip... Is there anything...
Got...
Oh, yes! The way...
My armor needs work from time to time. You know.
Admiral Rompali...
Good.
Immediately... Will you be needing...
In my...
Of course.
Then send out for...
Of course. Will you be needing...
That's all for now.
Don't pester me. Rumor has it the Duchess summoned the Witcher for more than a peace. And to the Hanses. She's giving them a read.
Strange. Something behind this wall, I think. Laboratory. My Must have been an alchemist at one time.
我等一下哦，看一下留言。等一下耳麦。等一下，我看一下下。咿呀咿呀哟！当然有啊，现在我不想喝而已啊。来，在这里。Ooh, nice.
Renovations coming along all right, Barnabas Basil?
Superbly, sir. General refurbishment has been completed. And I took the liberty of adding 2 racks in other news.
You mean the lab in the cellar? Saw it. So, one of the previous...
A laboratory? Alchemy?
It is. It was walled up. Equipment's pretty ancient too, so... Whoever it was sure knew their stuff, though. Got dragon glass vials and flasks, stills, sublimators...
Forgive me.
Just saying, it's top-notch equipment. True masterpieces of crap...
Then I am all the...
Starting to...
As you wish, sir.
Feels...
Indeed.
Thinking of...
Excellent idea. In your profession, rest is supremely important. But say the word, and I shall order you a bed from the carpenters who craft comfort for the comfort.
就猫而已，对吧？
Great. Order me a fine bed, please. Think I deserve one at my age.
True indeed, true indeed. I shall send a runner
我
at
进
once.
黑暗的地方，我
The
都才
bet
会
will be in
喝那个
place by this time tomorrow. Is there anything...
Could use another weapon.
I know of a carpentry shop in town which crafts the humblest lumber into true masterpieces.
Fine. Order the...
Of course, at once. Is there anything...
Was wondering about...
Oh, but that is immaterial. All self...
Yeah.
I can tell, and... Is there anything...
Along the...
I agree. It would...
Yes.
It's good. By this... Is there an...
Starting to...
What a...
You know...
Oh, a sturdy...
My...
I shall get to... Will you be needing...
So...
Well, you're in luck.
Good idea.
The idea... Will you...
That's...
接下来我要挂画。 没那么高啦。威伦大概的基本就是威伦跟那个 Novigrad 还有 Skellige 大概都是200到300。那这边的话大概是400起跳，血与酒大概每个委托都是400到500起跳，然后到600-700。对，那有一个最高的金额是起价是700块，然后 ending 的价格是1000。对，那我都是因为我不想赚，我真的不用赚这么多钱，因为你看我很多钱，所以我都采1成就够了，我就采1成的服务费。呵呵。啊，没差了。先这2幅就好。耶奈法会在主线结局会来住这个家，因为你已经选择耶奈法，所以我已经选择耶奈法，所以耶奈法会在主线结束跟血与酒主线结束之后，他会来到这个杰乌特的家，然后这边会有一只独角兽在这里，就是他来的时候这边会有一只独角兽在这里。呵呵。我要先挂那个。这件套装是那个，你应该知道哪一件啊？这件套装是那个，就是电视影集的那个 Netflix 的那件第2季的套装的那个造型，第1季跟第2季，杰乌特穿的那套，对，这个是最高等级的，对，这个是最高等级的那个护甲，就是降级。好了，我们接主线吧。接血与酒主线吧。看一下那个美好家园的那个甜蜜家园，1天哦，要2天，好。等待2天的结果。切尔斯。 这边等到我试酱都做完，我会把武器放在这里。
Renovations coming along all right?
I am delighted to inform you we have completed our labors. You can now devote yourself to enjoying the vineyard's delights to the fullest. You must forgive me my temerity, sir, but I thought, with all the work on Corfo Bianco completed, and with the estate looking more beautiful than ever, it might be appropriate.
这一代真正赚钱的方法并不是那些委托，而是这个地图的里面的那个。
Sure, why not?
学姐有个这个地图里面有一个商人工会的城堡，那个地方叫鹤山城堡。那会被大家就是不要把 BOSS 打败的话，那 NPC 会一直重生，所以我们会把它取为叫做鹤山银行。你可以一直刷武器，可以一直卖，一直刷，一直卖，一直刷。
All thought it a part of the performance, so they only laughed, even when the decor began to catch fire. It was not until the flame...
Sounds like Monsieur...
It was, sir.
So tell me, Barnabas...
This year... Isn't it?
Thanks.
但这个 bug 呢？好，我们该去那个主线，对，去那个这个地方。这代也不行啊，这代就顶多可以商议价格，但是也不能太多。
Never a good omen.
忘了去爬，忘了。做样子。干！别有炸弹啊！蠢蛋！好吧，这个敌就是这个智障的东西。我要丢炸弹，然后他不给我丢炸弹。妈，他现在改变，干他妈！我刚刚丢炸弹不给我丢，操！但是它有一个，这次会有一个就是不高兴的那个，下面有一个不高兴的那个量表，如果到买就只能原价了。
Regis' Raven wasn't lying. Spoons all over the place. Strange. Get a sense that the spoons are beating out some kind of rhythm, a message, trying to tell me something.
这个眼镜，这副杰克特
None
戴眼
shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate
熟
you.
悉吗？教授
Never
的眼
again
镜，
shall you wish to spy your
一代
reflection
的
in the
那
mirror.
个
Sounds like a curse, all right. Somebody's clearly obsessed. Regis mentioned the place might be cursed. Can't be a coincidence. Need to look around. What a pigsty. Need to search it thoroughly. Find a way to collect some white saliva. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves.
300啊，300其实严格讲，你后期做那个，你后期2周目的时候，一把钢筋的价格都可以抵过2-3个委托了。呵呵呵呵。
No spoon you have shall sate you. Whatever lives here treated that literally. Still searching for the right spoon. Skeletons. Doubt they came here willingly. This have anything to do with the curse? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. It'd make sense. None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic. Poor girl. Realized she was changing into a monster. Recorded it in her diary. Poignant. Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship. Must have graced a rich man's table. Smashed mirror. As if someone couldn't stand to look at themselves. The monster. Journal's author, maybe? None shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old. Broken neck, indentation in the skull's lateral surface. Smacked in the head with something heavy.
OK， 下去吧。
Actually does seem like a White's lair. Bit atypical, but still. Cauldron should be somewhere around here. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Cauldron I was looking for. White's not particularly tidy. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one. Table's set. White, who lives here, is getting ready for some sort of feast. White that lives here, definitely afflicted by a curse. And it's been trying desperately to lift it. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon. Pretty ordinary. Maybe a little old. Thousands of them here. White's been a collector for years. Another spoon. Yep, just as normal as the last one.
这个里面有个比较特殊的汤匙，会有一个另外的支线，有另外的寻宝任务的支线。
White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred.
来找一下下。那个也不能去，那个就委托就这样啊，就是还有那种20块的人，那种钱我就直接不收，我就直接免费帮他做一次。
Woman's name scratched into this wooden spoon. Romantic.
那个百果园那边有一个20块的委托。
Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old.
笑死我。啊，这个。
Another spoon.
是吗？
Yep, just as normal as the last one. White's obsessed. Real collector. Thoroughbred. Spoon, pretty ordinary, maybe a little old.
官方把那个汤匙那个丢掉吗？
Spoon's incredible. The craftsmanship must have graced a rich man's table.
他们把那个汤匙那个任务修掉了。官方好像把那个汤匙的任务修掉了，那个支线啊，这个吗？啊。
Spoon key. Sophisticated crafting. Tag bears a description. White's a true collector. Cauldron's empty, unfortunately. We just need some brew. Afraid we won't get that. No choice but to hide and wait for the saliva glands.
百果园就只有一个委托而已啊，就是那个刚开始那个经历的恶魔啊，20到22块，那你要选多少？20到25。所以就我自己原价来的时候啊，就20块，就这样。因为加5块可以干什么？告诉我。好，那个妖怪回来了。
Not gonna hurt you. Wanna help? I've seen the words of the curse on the walls. Think I know how to lift it.
然后老杰戴上那个教授的那个眼镜，实在蛮帅的。
You tried to bring folk here, convince them to sit at the table with you, right? Well, I'm gonna be your guest now. Your willing guest. Just need a bit for Regis. And now we'll tend to you. Need to get this right. Words of the curse were, none shall sit and dine with you at your table. No spoon you have shall sate you. Never again shall you wish to spy your reflection in the mirror. We can't use spoons. No, that won't work. You've been looking for a spoon that would feed you, but there's no such spoon. We need to eat without spoons. Open your eyes. You need to see your likeness. Just not quite like I expected. Need to see what happened to the white. Won't be hard to find given its stench.
真的有一个很有趣的那个就是选择，就是如果你没有去找他的话，那个这个妖鬼会死掉，就是他变回人类之后他会死掉，这蛮有趣的，对。等一下再处理，先打他。I must eat.
Shh, easy. Not gonna hurt you.
Eat. I must eat.
然后最后就变杰洛特里面杰洛特家里面的那个厨师了。
I'll take you someplace safe. So I took her by the hand and led her here. Seemed the only sensible place for her.
You did the right thing, sir. She should recover quickly here. Don't worry, sir. I shall see to everything.
Might actually take a while. She hadn't eaten anything in over 100 years when I found her.
Horrid. Whatever brought this about?
不能否决啊，因为它这里我不会否决掉啊，因为这个有一个比较特殊的奖杯是那个兽魔猎人的委托，就是好像是专业好手吧，这个你必须要把所有的委托解掉才有办法得到这个奖杯。那因为我玩这游戏，我玩巫师3，我是以拿奖杯为前提的，就是最到后面我都是以解奖杯为，就是对，所以有些比较困难的奖杯我会专注的去做，然后像这个就是所有奖杯你要做完，然后所有的委托你要做完，对，所以不管他出多少。第一个20块那个我一定会接，而且他最后他给钱我也不会让他给，因为杰克这种个性啊，因为他就是像这种太穷的人，他也其实也不好意思收那么多，就是对吧、就免费帮次忙吧，那个也没差，对吧、因为其实刚开始的任务其实没有做很大，对，所以我在想啊，因为其实刚开始你可以透过其他的方式赚钱。你可以透过刷那个牛的皮，然后去洗那个钱，那个反而比它更好赚，所以根本没差。对。
Told me her story on the way here. Her name's
而且通常
Marlena.
我玩
She
游
was
戏是
once
从
the
2
very
周目开
beautiful
始，
and
所以
proud
我是上
heiress
的
to the
线已经
Trastamara estate.
也蛮多的，所以我
One
其实
evening when
刚
she
开
was
始
holding a
那个
banquet
小
for
时
friends, the beggar came
也
to
不
her
差
gate
多
seeking
少。
alms. He had a bowl and a
你
spoon
所有
with
委
him.
托加
He
起来
sat
顶多就
outside her fence and
顶多
waited.
就1-2万而已，就2万多而已，
An
就
ancient
全部下来
rite
才
of
2万多而已。
hospitality that obliges
2
one
万
to
多
give
其实
food
对我来
and
讲
drink
就
to
非常
such a
少，
guest
因为
lest he depart hungry. To neglect
你
the
光
custom
是要
is to
做
bring
个
great
思降级
misfortune
的
down
套
upon
装，
oneself.
你花的价
Marlena
格就
didn't
不
care
止
a whit
2
for
万
the
多
old
块。
customs.
所以
She
我来
drove
说，
the
赫
man
山银行
off,
这个东
saying
西
she'd
就
rather
是
feed the
赫
leftovers
山
from
城
her
堡，就
feast
是
to
专
her
门刷
dogs than to give the beggar
才是
anything.
真正里
The
面
beggar then broke
最
his
重要的，
spoon
因为你要
and
做
cast a
你
curse.
做施降级的套
She
装
was
的时候，你
beautiful,
必须要
so he
把
said she'd never wish to look at
就是
herself
都
in
给
the
他
mirror
做，
again.
都把
Since she adored
护甲都给
feasts,
他做，
he
做
swore no
你
one
就是
would
花
ever wish
花
to
很多
sit
钱去
and
做
dine
那
with
个，
her.
然后你
And
卖
as
武
she
器的就卖给
refused
他，
him the crumbs
就
from
像
her
就是
table,
这样一直这样
he
来回，这样
swore
来回，
she'd
这样来
never
回。
find a spoon in the world that would
也就是
sate
赫
her
山城堡
hunger.
一直洗，
A
就是
harsh punishment.
砍人，然后砍完
I
掉
imagine
掉武
lifting
器，
the
然后去
curse
拿，
was hardly
然后去洗，就是这样。对。
Curses are tricky. They play on irony. Always gotta figure out what the catch is. Marlena had spent decades looking for a way to lift it. Transformed into a wight, she stole spoons and lured folk into her home, trying each time to get them to dine with her. Didn't work.
So what did?
Someone had to sit down and share a meal with her, of their own free will. They had to eat without using spoons and make her
这
look
个
at her
这个
reflection.
这段支线
That
这个
was all
配
it
乐
required.，
Simplest solutions are sometimes the last that come to mind. Besides, when you're a wight, it's pretty damn hard to find willing human company for a feast.
I imagine so. But most
Yeah,
importantly, it is now over. Please.
Thanks. Gotta get back to my business now. See you soon.
第一关的20的委托就是就是白骨园那关，就是反正就是这种价格，所以其实我也不会跟他收钱。对，每次就是玩2周目的时候，我绝对不会收钱，因为我一定会先定好价格，但是定好价格的时候，他给的时候我还不如让他当他自己的家装，对，不需要，对吧？其实这一代给最多的是血与酒的任务，这一代给最多的是血与酒的那个委托，就是葡萄园那个就是大战葡萄酒大战的那个相关支线，对。 就是这边会有一个支线委托，就是葡萄酒大战贝尔加的这个任务。那这个 Befka 这个任务，就是它会衍生出2个葡萄酒大战的任务，一个是就是一个女主人，然后跟一个男主人，他必须委托你说去解决他葡萄园的麻烦。然后这两个委托人，每一个里面都共有5个要处理麻烦的地方。那就是每个人，他们2个人出的都是700为那个最低价，然后你可以调到上限可以调到1000，这2个都一样。好像女主人好像可以调到最高到900，所以我都是做到770，然后就这样就可以。我就是做到不然就做到750，因为数字好看一点，所以对。因为你真正里面最能赚钱的那个就是地图的这里，它是一个就是地图的看一下地图的这里，这个地方会很多 NPC 在这里，尤其是下面这个地方超级多人。对，然后那个每砍死，就是因为你后期2周目你过去砍的时候，因为通常都是在98、99快满等的时候去砍，所以那边的武器的价格通常都是你卖给4将级的你卖给就是地图中的师将，就是你卖给他，价格通常都会是一把大概800-900起跳，对，所以委托有屁用啊，洗钱才是王道啊，所以大家才会戏称叫做那个鹤山银行，你知道吗？鹤山城堡变鹤山银行。贝尔加德任务在这里，贝尔加德的，没关系，先解。贝尔加德我下一次去解好，我先把这个愚人之笼先解决掉。这个血与酒主线解完之后，我会再还会再另开一部影片，因为那个差不多这个任务解完，差不多就90级了。那我要开始找学派的套装，就是到极品等级的学派套装。对，我要开始找那个蓝图，然后跟制作。对，熊学派、狼学派跟猫学派，对，这3个我都各做2套。你现在看我穿的是熊学派的等级第2等级的装，那这次我们要找全部就是找到极品等级的是等级4，对，所以我会给你看等级3跟等级4的套装。对，
Think your friend's hand will make for a nice broth?
You've clearly honed your sense of humor. We are not cannibals, Geralt. I took a fragment of tissue from the hand. It will suffice to prepare some residents.
What did you do with the rest?
I cremated it, as our codex commands. Raven told me you'd acquired the necessary ingredient.
Pretty helpful creatures. Call on them often?
I try not to overdo it. But they can be so useful, as they were now, when I merely needed to be sure I could arrive in time should things go sour.
Managed fine alone, but thanks for the thought. Gonna need much longer to finish brewing resonance? Mentioned the last ingredient, too. What about that?
That, I fear, might prove troublesome. You see, to use the concoction to summon the memories of one, the solution must contain the blood of another specimen of the same species.
Shouldn't be a problem. I happen to know a higher vampire who should be willing to help. Right, Regis?
It's not that simple, I'm afraid. While you were away, I tried my damnedest to identify a replacement, but alas, none such exists.
Not sure I
这一关里
understand what
面
the problem，
这一
is.
关
Can't we
真
just
正
draw
的
some of
危
your
险的地
blood?
方是在
Blood
它
must
这个
be
咱们
in
对
an
话结束之
agitated
后，
state.
对，
As I'm certain you
对，任
know,
何
higher vampires can change their corporeal shell. As our flesh changes, so
因为
does
血与酒
our
里面有
blood's
一个
chemical
BOSS， 有
composition.
一个怪
To
物
make
叫
a
监
long
视
story short,
它会自爆，
I
超
shall
恶
need to
心。
induce in myself a state of strong psychokinetic arousal. In brief, madness, rabidity. That stands to be very, very dangerous.
Dangerous? Why? I mean, you'll still be you, right?
True, but I should be highly agitated, in a state of fury. You know better than I that fury cannot be controlled. If you've ever seen an enraged vampire, you know very well that all who find themselves nearby will be in grave danger.
How will we handle that? I'd rather not have you lunge at me, claws extended.
That makes two of us. But worry not. I've thought it through very thoroughly. Details to follow soon.
Alright, so what do you want to do?
We shall visit Tesha Mudna, an ancient vampire estate. There we will find cages suspended in the air. I will enter one, be confined. Beasts you will then kill. The bloodletting should prove profuse.
Tesha Mudna. What's it like?
It is a place of torment, a torture chamber. Long ago, shortly after we'd arrived in this world, one among us named Kagmar developed such a taste and lust for human. This brought trouble on the entire species. Common folk wearied quickly of living in constant fear. They began to hunt us, seek the aid of mages and witches in tracking us down.
So what? Not like they could ever hope to kill you.
But they were bothersome. Forgive the comparison, but when did you last enjoy mosquitoes buzzing around your head? In any case, the other vampires decided something had to be done. Kagmar had to be caught and punished. A torture chamber was thus outfitted in the
不过通常
dungeons
巨
of
魔不会
Tesha.
杀，巨魔
Decided
有是有
cage
杀，
with
但是是
entirely
那
of
种疯
special
狂的巨
alloy
魔
of
才会
silver,
杀。
dalvinite, and meteorite
在
steel.
这一代我
Kagmar
我
was
宁
captured
可
and
就
locked
是
in the
就是
cage.
能沟通就沟
Sat there
通，
over 2 centuries, driven to fury time
还
after
被
time.
还被那个
Never
兰
able
博
to
特讥
escape.
笑。
Thus I know the cage will withstand the fury to which we shall drive my humble being.
See no reason to dawdle.
这代也有啊，也有一个要求杀掉，就是因为有一个巨魔吃掉了 Rodinia 的那个士兵啊，然后就接委托，然后就看你选择要不要杀。
What was that?
那我还没去解。
Blood. Oh, the last favor the raven did me.
超好笑。
I've also taken some sancurium, a solution that sharpens one's sense of smell. One drop of blood shall smell like a gallon to me now.
You crazy? You're a recovering addict.
Your outrage warms my heart, Geralt. But you must remain calm. I have no choice. As things stand, the die is cast. High time we set off for Tesha Mudna. My head's spinning already, and you're starting to smell quite tasty.
And you're starting to scare me.
Tasty. 看几点？4点，好。三小，有人在留言。
We have arrived. The sacrificial chamber of torture and torment lies underground.
等我一下，我调一个设定一下。
Sure you know what you're doing?
I can only hope I do. Please, let's go.
You lead. Scurvers must be getting close to their feeding ground.
Correct. I told you there'd be danger. Beyond this wall lies...
An ancient vampire dungeon. Seen a lot of things in my time. Nothing quite like this, though.
I feel honored. A man with such a wealth of experience, yet I'm about to show him something new. Now, to open it.
先换法印好了。先换那个放火。
How the hell?
It's an ancient form of protection against unwanted guests. The mechanism which releases the latch reacts only to a high vampire's blood.
Tricky mechanisms, a vampire hideout. Fortified, secured. Must have been important to your species once, Toussaint.
It shall always be so. During the conjunction, the gate from our world into this one opened upon this land and no other. This was the first place we saw.
Human husbandry and care? This for real?
The author observed humans, their behavior, over the many years he spent breeding them. Morally suspect though it may be, it's a thorough survey of the topic.
Oh my God.
This place. There's evil here. Death hangs in the air.
Yes. A great many beings have breathed their last.
Cliffs are carved into the rock. Coated with blood used to be. They mean something?
They're emblems, symbols of, well, what you would call tribes, dispersed throughout the world after the conjunction. My ancestors placed them here to remind us all where we came from.
Seems your kind assembled a peculiar little library.
Indeed, though I personally did not lay a hand to it.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garrishan. My tribe, and Deadloves. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
看一下那个第三木纳套装装备的等级需求多少？好像90，我靠，95，我操，屌哦！
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garrishan. My tribe, and Deadloves. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Cells? Who for?
Ah, disgraceful. Excruciatingly so, this particular page from our history. I'd rather not summon the demons of the past if it's all right with you.
Whose is this cliff?
Amun. They ventured beyond the sea.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
And this one? Which tribe's this?
Garisham. My tribe, and Deadlouse. We both remained in this part of the world.
What's this symbol mean?
It's the symbol of the Dead. Those who went east beyond the Blue Mountains.
Charming place. But what are all those cages for? Mentioned one vampire being...
Yes, well, you see, humanitarians is something my ancestors were not. They concluded Kagmar would best be punished if he were tormented with the scent of blood he could not taste. Thus, they also kept humans here. Humans whose blood they slowly let. Kagmar ranted and raged in pain as those humans slowly bled to death.
They treated them like livestock. Live bait.
I'd like to be able to turn back time. Deny it, but alas, I can do neither. Feel shame for my brethren. That is all I can do.
Don't take it so hard. Nothing you could have done about it. Let's get to work.
Well, that was awkward. Fine. I prepared the bait. Please be so kind and... place the bait at the tunnel entrances. Monsters will catch its scent.
When I think how these tunnels got here, send shivers.
It was the natural order of things. The place reeked of death and it attracted necrophages.
可以换钱啊，可以去银行换钱啊。
3 done, 1 left.
够了。
Think this'll work?
I certainly hope so. The stench is so thick, I'd wager it carries clear to them.
Bait set. What now?
I shall enter the cage. You must chain me inside. The bars are made of an alloy that will prevent me from transforming into mist.
Kinda thought you wouldn't want to.
I shall be in great pain. My sole thought being to stop that pain. I cannot know what I will do. We must hurry. The beasts have caught the scent of my head. I started spinning.
That the blood?
Someone who's never experienced a vampire's bloodlust does not know the true meaning of thirst.
Maybe we need a safe word. You know, something you'll say when you can't take it anymore.
And what would you do once I uttered it?
Don't know. Calm it down. Somehow.
Please.
I just smelled the blood. I'll let you out.
好嗨哦！这段超帅的，呵呵。
Need to hang on a little longer. Blood'll dry in a few hours. Scent won't bother you. Get you out of here.
因为我有无敌状态，所以没差。我当然知道啊，我打15分我都知道，这个我比你知道，我比你清楚。我之前吃了他很多亏，所以就是一直对啊，玩15分一直吃了很多亏。就是还没改版之
You
前。
can't finish it in this state. Tell me how. I'll help you. Any better?
Far from ideal. And some time must pass before I fully recover. But yes, a bit better, thank you.
Resonance. It's ready.
Are you certain you followed the formula? The proportions were exact, the brewing time precise. This is important, Geralt. The slightest deviation could cost even a witcher dearly.
Relax. Got some experience brewing potions.
Very well. In that case, let's begin.
也就是开库恩啊，那自爆点开库恩，看库恩，那打到一定残血，然后按库恩，然后他自爆。第3名使者。
Excuse me. I shall only take a moment.
You jumped the queue, sir.
But Count, sir, you must understand. I've a meeting. The Count...
Sir, you were next. Please, take a seat. This gentleman was here first. Step down or you shall regret it.
Ah, fails to realize he was your friend, Count.
It was then I ordered him to give up his seat and step off the step. If only you'd seen his face. We got him good, didn't we, Detlef? And then Mother insisted we buy the mill. Curious, eh? But at least I've a yarn to spin for friends and associates. Forgive me. What?
Awake at last. You ride like a squirrel caught in a snare. I'd begun to fear they were death throes, that you'd departed.
Sure wasn't pleasant, but it worked.
What did you see?
Delacroix. His death did not come easy. Seems Dettlaff had made friends with him, still killed him, chopped up his corpse, and he was overcome with fury, remorse, cut off the hand that had committed the murder.
Interesting. And entirely unlike the Dettlaff I know. See anything else?
Saw a moment. Delacroix did something selfless. Was kind to Dettlaff. Guess it could have been the start of their friendship.
Why the uncertainty?
Nothing extraordinary about it. Normal, everyday situation, really. Visions were supposed to issue from strong emotions.
Clearly the situation provoked such emotions in Dettlaff. Keep in mind, he did later murder. Killing someone who's grown dear to us, it's bound to elicit strong... Did you see anything else?
There was something. Showed up twice in the vision. A bootblack stand. Dettlaff first met Delacroix there.
Peculiar.
Stand was somewhere in the Port District.
Perhaps we should have a chat with them.
It's our only lead.
I shall join you later.
That's fair.
睡后沉思。好了，我们去找学派蓝图喽。我会把 live 关掉，然后5分钟后，利用到5分钟后啊，我会直接开了。先找。